Life comes at us in the most unexpected ways, and unknowing to us, the slightest action or inaction of someone somewhere has a great impact on our experiences. Check out these clips for an insight into the butterfly effect. What are the odds that one of the most accepted desserts would turn out to be the murder instrument? This is the case of a woman who buys chocolates from the vendor, laces them with poison, and sends them back to the vendor who sells them to unsuspecting customers. Imagine dying not from eating too much chocolate, but from eating a poisoned dessert.
Death by chocolate isn't just a dessert. In 1869, Christiana Edmonds was having an affair with her doctor, Charles Beard, through love letters, although he was married. In the summer of 1870, he broke off the relationship, and this did not sit well with Christiana. And so, she made the decision that Mrs. Beard had to go. So she visited Mrs. Beard and brought her a gift, a box of chocolate. Shortly after consuming them, Mrs. Beard became ill, and Dr. Beard suspected that Christiana had something to do with it. But he did not report it to the police. In 1871, Christiana began buying chocolates from the local confectioner, where she would bring them home, lace them with poison, and then return them back to the vendor. And the vendor unknowingly sold them back to the public. Sadly, in June of 1871, 4-year-old Sydney Barker passed away after eating chocolates from the shop. Christiana then began sending out parcels of poisoned chocolate to prominent people, which included Mrs. Beard, who once again became sick. At this point, the police connected all the poisonings to the chocolate. To cover her tracks, Christiana even sent herself parcels of chocolate, and she claimed that she was a victim of poisoning too. Finally, Dr. Beard came forth and told the police of his suspicions. Christiana was then arrested and charged with attempted murder and the murder of 4-year-old Sydney. During her trial, her mother claimed that her family had a history of mental illness. So instead of the death penalty, Christiana spent the rest of her life in an insane asylum, passing away in 1907.
Imagine all the trees begin to fall at the same time for no reason, and you are driving at the center of the whole frenzy. It gets worse when one of the trees falls on the car.
Terrifying Things Caught on Dashcam, Part 1. On the 11th of February 2017, a car is seen driving through a slippery and windy road in the middle of a forest. As they drive further up the road, something terrifying and unexpected happens. Out of nowhere, all the trees start falling onto the road in front of the car. Then one of the trees lands on the car. Thankfully, no one was injured and they all made it out alive. It is unknown why all the trees just randomly started falling, but my best guess is it was just a mild landslide. Have you ever experienced something terrifying in the car before?
These skateboarders saw their life flash right in front of their eyes when a driver decides to run past the red light. One can only imagine how both skateboarders were able to leave unscathed.
Creepy Dashcam Footage PT.6.
With the widespread rumors of human experiments, one begins to question uncommon scenarios if they are truly natural occurrences or if the work of a human experiment has gone rogue. In this clip, we see something that might be the case of a failed human experiment, dispelled as a mentally deranged escape.
Was it a deranged lunatic or a product of human experimentation? The story goes like there was a family who had just moved into a brand new house in Cincinnati, Ohio. Soon after they moved in, weird things started happening. The daughter reported seeing glowing eyes watching her in the middle of the night, and feeling like somebody was watching her through her bedroom window. One night, the brother was asleep in his bed when he felt the family dog jump up on his bed. When he went to go pet the dog, he realized it wasn't the dog at all, it was this man. Thankfully, the family was unharmed, but the man did manage to escape before the police could get him. And it said that before he escaped, the family snapped this picture of him. Although they chalked it up to being a deranged lunatic who had broken into the family's home that night, it is rumored that this man could have been a product of a human experimentation that the dad was running, and the man may have been living in the family's basement.
On the list of unexpected events, in this clip, we see a waitress from Australia pulling a koala out of a restaurant by the tail with her hands in broad daylight. How was she not scared? Check it out.
Unbelievable moments that were caught on camera. This video uploaded to YouTube on the 23rd of February 2017 shows a waitress pulling a large goanna out of a restaurant in Australia.
Do you think we have come across all there is to know about human makeup from ages past? This video says otherwise. In this clip, we see a tribe that is thought to be extraterrestrial from the examined remains found by archaeologists because the remains do not match any known data or figures.
Could this mysterious tribe actually have been extraterrestrial? Because they spoke an unfamiliar language, and their DNA matched none of the known tribes, this strange tribe was thought to be extraterrestrial. In 1938, a group of amateur archaeologists uncovered the remains of an ancient civilization with astronomical and timekeeping skills, much superior to any other known human culture at the time. What was more odd was their finding of a hole-hidden chamber in one of the caves, which held an unknown metal cylinder, as well as 7 dead bodies with strange physical features. Furthermore, they uncovered sculptures carved into the walls that resembled these strange people, short, lanky beings with large heads and little bodies. Researchers concluded that these individuals must be another sort of humanoid extraterrestrial life form, since no humans could live at such high altitudes and survive without special equipment, and that is why many asked the question.
This clip shows us that pictures and videos always have a backstory to them. Sometimes these backstories are great and serve as a good memory. Other times, like the pictures in this video, the backstories are terrible.
Normal-looking photos that have a disturbing backstory. Part 29. This stroller belongs to a 4-year-old Ukrainian girl named Liza. In July of last year, she and her mother Irina were hit by a Russian missile. This is 23-year-old Ricardo Lopez. Over the course of a few months, he vlogged the entire process of making and sending a bomb to his favorite singer, Bjork. Luckily, the package was intercepted, but not before Ricardo took his life on camera. This X-ray shows an infant victim of the 1999 Brixton nail bombing. A neo-Nazi named David Copeland bombed areas across London, but miraculously, the baby survived. This photo shows 69 boys in a dormitory before it was set on fire in 1959. And while 48 of them managed to escape, 21 of them died in the flames. Further, police never investigated who or what caused the fire.
The right way to strap a patient to a stretcher would be face up, right? Who would have thought that these paramedics would decide to strap a patient face down, which would eventually lead to the death of the patient? Here is why they did it.
2 paramedics in Illinois were charged with murder after strapping a patient face down on a stretcher. Peggy Finley and her coworker Peter Cadigan responded to a home in Springfield on December 18th after police requested medical assistance for a 911 caller. The caller was, quote, suffering hallucinations due to alcohol withdrawal. The patient was 35-year-old Earl Lynn Moore, Jr. On body cam footage, Finley could be heard yelling at Moore to get up and walk out to the ambulance. She then states, quote, "I am seriously not in the mood for this dumb shit." 2 officers then help Moore outside and onto a gurney. Both Finley and Cadigan then place Moore face down and strap him onto the stretcher. And because of this, Moore unfortunately passed away. The autopsy report concluded that Moore ultimately died of compressional and positional asphyxia. Finley and Cadigan were arrested back on January 9th and are currently being held on a $1 million bond. Both are being charged with first-degree murder.
What do you think angels look like? Well, if you are thinking angels as we have seen in Disney movies, you have got to think again, cause that couldn't be farther from the truth.
These are videos humans were never meant to see, part 3.
Okay, so we all know angels look like this, or so we thought. According to the Bible, angels don't look like this at all, but instead very creepy. This is what angels actually look like according to the Bible.
Do you know that the same physics law drives all of the universes? Well, if this were to be true, this would probably mean that humans are the only humans in the universe. It is kind of unsettling.
We are the only humans in the universe.
The universe is so huge and the worlds within it are so numerous that it seems like anything is possible. But the laws of physics and chemistry are the same everywhere. We are chemically connected to the rest of the cosmos, sharing the same basis for life as any other hypothetical living thing. Yet we are extremely unique, meaning we are the only humans in the universe. Modern science has made us understand that the same laws of physics and chemistry apply across the vastness of space and time. We are now able to look at stars and baby galaxies billions of light years away from us. And when we look at them and analyze their properties, they actually evolved from the same dynamic laws that our sun follows. Physical and chemical laws are the same everywhere and everywhen, which means us humans are one of one, and any other living thing in the universe is also one of one.
Which of these stories do you think has an element of truth to it? Give us your reasons in the comments section.